Never forget those who walk right before in your step. I'ma spit out just a couple of names who paved the way up in this game. Fresh track, rap attack, yes, nastiness. Sir mix a lot in DMS. Emerald Street Boys and Kids Sensation. Seattle City Breakers all around the nation.
Again, it's your host, Gabe Morales here, and we have a very, very special guest here today. He is a dynamic individual, very gifted individual, and he was featured in my book on hip hop, covering some of the negative as well as positive influences on hip hop. And I'm glad to say he's one of the positive influences. We also, he may recall, back in the day, we performed, not together, but we both were at an event at the Youth Detention Center here in King County, and we performed in front of youth, and then they were digging it, man. They were, digging and bobbing. And it was assembly, and Una Kim, who was the recreation director down there, brought us in, and she's a great individual also. We got a lot of great people here in Seattle, King County, Washington State that are into the hip hop and working with our youth. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce King Khazm. How are you today?
Peace. Thank you for having me. I'm good. Real good.
All right.
Glad to be here.
All right. So tell us, where were you born and where'd you grow up?
Born and raised in Seattle, Washington, in 206.
Right on.
City of Rain.
Seatown. Right on. And so, man, I'm sad to hear about our Seahawks, man, but hey, maybe next year, man. I never give up. Yeah, I'm diehard, as you see, diehard Seahawks forever, man. Always 12s. And so what schools did you attend here in the local area?
I was in Meany Middle School and then Franklin High School.
All right.
So I know that a lot of my and it's kind of funny because a lot of my people's from Meany went to Garfield, and pretty much all my friends went to Garfield, and here I am going to Franklin. It's like
well, Franklin was kind of like the dividing line. Some people were down there by Rainier Beach, Cleveland.
Right.
Also, you got to put that in the mix, and then Garfield, and then I know some got bused. So even though they lived in those areas, they went to Ingram and Roosevelt. And
right.
Yeah, it was kind of different.
Franklin was close to where I lived, and it was also, a lot of my family went there. The real reason was that they had a crazy art program, because I was really into graffiti and drawing, just illustrations and art, and so that was pretty much the selling point for me. So had to take advantage of that art program.
Right on. I had a lot of good friends who went to Franklin, and so then you had mentioned you got into graffiti then as a young man. That must have been the beginning of getting into hip hop, but you are also a rapper as well as other elements of hip hop. So what made you get into all that?
Just, I don't know, my peers, I just always loved music, have always loved everything. A lot of my folks funk and soul and rock and all kinds of stuff, but something about hip hop was really unique, and it just resonated in me in a very different way. The beats, the rhymes, it was just different, and something that I gravitated towards. And I've always been into drawing and illustrations and comic books and stuff like that, and I just love to doodle. I like to write my name, and so that's pretty much my first element. I didn't get into I was into poetry, and I kind of like did that in middle school, but didn't really get serious as far as rhyming and producing until probably about high school and getting out of high school. After high school, I was getting more serious as far as like actually recording and doing stuff and getting equipment to make beats and stuff like that. Just kind of learning my way, so to speak.
Right on. Well, I just did my first rap. I can't believe it came to me as a dream. So I'm a really late bloomer, brother. I'm in my 60s now.
Okay.
So a lot of my friends are like, "Hey, Gabe, you're pretty good. You should try." I'm like, I don't know, but hey, I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks. So I've written poetry, written several books, but never really rapped on the mic and like that. I've done some slam poetry, but yeah, it was kind of fun. And then and doing video to it and all that. Yeah, getting my creative juices flowing, but in no way do I compare to you, man. So tell us, you started 206 Zulu here in Seattle, correct?
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about that, how that developed.
That was a little bit later, around 2004. It was just a platform for the hip hop community. We saw that there was a lot of, I guess, need to coming together. People were more susceptible to seeing that kind of greater vision of strength in numbers, and just coming together and trying to use hip hop as a platform for doing positive things and making change, and really just kind of returning into the essence of the culture. A lot of times we kind of get jaded, and as it kind of evolves into the industry and things like that, and which is beautiful thing, but we really just wanted to preserve the essence of the culture, and come together and have a platform for young people to just explore themselves, interpersonal relationships, life skills development, community empowerment, self-empowerment, through the elements of hip hop, and most importantly, the knowledge, having that traditions and the cultures, and coming together as a in a holistic way.
Okay, so if I understand right, then you like put on like workshops and that kind of thing to reach the youth, or how do you guys
Yeah,
do that?
we got all kinds of stuff. It's a collective of artists, musicians, parents, young people, folks from all over the Northwest. And we do a lot of different things, from events, b-boy jams, competitions. We do graffiti mural events. We'll host in-school programs, after-school programs. I think I met you initially through juvenile detention
Mhm.
in county. So going anywhere that young people, not just young people exclusively, but where we can spread positivity through hip hop and cultural exchange. And so yeah, then we do media programs, video production, and kind of like media literacy, and educating folks on young people on the power of media, and how to create content. We have
Awesome.
recording studios where we show them the ins and outs of audio production, and how to produce beats, and how to you know what I mean, all that stuff. And so yeah, all kinds of stuff, festivals, and we've done parade troops and conferences and educational seminars, and yeah, all kinds of stuff over the years. We've been very blessed and fortunate to
Right on.
I really built that organization, over the years, and it's all largely in part due to the community, that's been so supportive and involved. It's very grassroots, and so it's just people coming together, and really want to be the change, that they want to see.
Right on, right on. Now, if I remember right, when I went down to visit you, you were in a building down there in Central District. You guys still located there?
Yeah, we're located. It's called Washington Hall, and it's a historic venue and community space. It was built in 1908, so about 100 and some odd years, maybe 112 or so years. The first documented jazz performance in Seattle was at Washington Hall. A lot of greats, a lot of Billie Holiday,
Wow.
Jimi Hendrix, Ernestine Anderson. I mean, Marcus Garvey, like Black Panthers, like a lot of great people have called Washington Hall home.
Mm.
And yeah, we're very honored to be a part of that legacy, and helping manage the space, helping, we did a massive capital campaign and raised funds to renovate it. It's fallen apart, and so we got it all fully ADA accessible, and yeah, and we that's where we host our programs and our events, and we also provide spaces for community. It's a very highly gentrified neighborhood, and so we like to have a space that's accessible for people to come back to, and do their events. So anything from concerts to weddings to workshops to dance rehearsal, all kinds of stuff
Right on.
goes down at
So
Washington Hall.
yeah, so it sounds like you do a lot of stuff there, but you also do outreach into the community and participate in other people's events too. That is really, really cool, man. So, speaking of disabilities and obstacles, what are some of those the greatest ones that you have faced during your career and your endeavors?
Oh, obstacles. I don't know, just life, you know, growing up as, biracial, disabled, young person from the South End of Seattle. Just, growing up in the 90s and like experiencing just a lot of adversities, a lot of struggles growing up and a lot of twists and turns and man, it just I just really, gotta give it up to hip hop, for really grounding me, giving me the kind of the focus when a lot of because I grew up in an era where there was a lot of gangs and stuff like that. So
Yeah, we're talking 1980s, 90s, that
yeah, I
time
was
frame.
pretty young in the 80s. I was born in 78. So I mean I was definitely in it was the environment. And so all throughout the 90s, it was very prevalent and man, it was a different era than now. I mean, you definitely have some of those elements, but it was just a different culture, a lot of violence, a lot of just I mean everything you could think of. And
Yeah.
so for me, by the grace of God, I didn't really get into too much trouble. I was had a pretty good head on my shoulders, but the hip hop man kept me alive, straight up. Having those platforms to like, I was actually the big homie because a lot of people would gravitate towards me. I never really had a big homie. A lot of my big homies were doing some serious time and some, what I mean, like getting into situations. And so I just kind of did my own thing. And so, I would always be like, yo, let's go to Jefferson and practice breaking, or let's get down in the black books and get down on the graffiti, or just like, just vibing out on some hip hop stuff, and
You
that
put
was
your
always,
energy towards that.
yeah, I mean, we had cats that, kind of teetered back and forth and, fortunately some people, had to, pay different consequences to their lifestyles. But, hip hop helped a lot of people through these difficult times. And I get kind of like, choked up a little bit when I see some homies that I haven't seen in years or didn't even know that they were still around, and seeing them do good and have families and, other people that kept to their craft and still doing their thing. It's a beautiful thing. Hip hop is intergenerational, it's international, and it's not. I mean, it's definitely a youth-led culture, but anybody can appreciate it, and practice, and be a part of it.
Right on, right on. So then, what would you say are some of your greatest accomplishments? I know there's some, you had some rough times, but obviously you had some good times too. What would you say were some of your memories that strike out when you're over the years, the past few
Oh
decades?
man. Um, I mean, a lot of the work that because I got into like advocacy and like activism and not even really intentional, but just trying to create platforms and means for us, for our peers in our community. And I guess like, a lot of the work is kind of invisible and you don't really see the immediate results, but every now and then you get a reminder of like how impactful it really is,
Hmm.
whether it be uh, just a an old grandma just stopping you in the tracks as you cross in the street, giving you a big hug and just seeing, thank you so much for the work, or like being on a bus and the young person coming up right as you're getting off and he's like, yo, you changed my life, you told me to keep writing and I've been writing ever since. And I got out of the psych ward and I've been doing good. And like, yo, like I'm just on the bus, I'm not even prepared for those kind of encounters. But, a lot of times those situations, you know, sharing a part of you, maybe might be uncomfortable at that time, but it is, it can help people in their process. And seeing that, especially over the years, a lot of times you see people in the community, you just think of them as like, oh, you just seeing a lot of people over the years, and but to realize how they matured, and like a lot of that is through programs and just platforms that you've supported, and helped them kind of like develop and to see their growth, and for them to, especially for young people to turn into adults, and then they're continuing that good work and doing positive things in their communities in different ways, man. It's really rewarding.
Yeah. Well, I can relate too, man. I've seen a lot of individuals that, overdosed on drugs or got incarcerated, like you said, picked up a heavy case, just self-destructed. And it's real sad to see. But when you see those individuals that, hey, are doing something, even those maybe who, didn't have it so easy, had some rough times, but now they're doing good. And when they come back and, tell me, yeah, that, hey, I had a positive influence on their life, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, hey, it was all worth it, because yeah, it's really a downer when you see some of those disappointments. But I would think same with me, that there's been a lot more successes out there. And like I said, sometimes it just takes, sometimes the work is individual, it's not visible, not obvious, but obviously it impacted somebody for them to come up and even, thank you and stuff. And I'm talking about, former convicts and stuff that I had and stuff. And a lot of times, coming up to thank me. And I don't even remember what I did, but they do. And so I think it was Maya Angelou who said, people won't remember what you said, they'll remember how you made them feel.
Right.
And that I obviously must have made them feel good, because I don't remember sometimes what I said or did. But I'm glad that, they're happy. And right on. And so you just came off tour from Europe, I understand. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. It was interesting, with COVID and all, but it was good. I had a opportunity to, perform. I went to the World's Fair. It was in Dubai, and so I was in Dubai for a bit, performing out there, and then yeah, went to primarily in France, and popped around a little bit, and it's been out there for, man, a good month and a half. Just got back this week, hitting the ground. Yeah, it's been a real it's been a real nonstop.
Yeah, I know. You probably get a little
2022.
jet lag. You barely got back, and I asked you to do this interview. I appreciate you doing that, man, because I know you got to be tired. But thank you for doing this, man. We really appreciate it, man. We're documenting hip hop history right here, people. This is it. And as you know, we had some other previous guests on, and now we got King Khazm on. So you have a new project out. It's called Return of a Mad, I understand. Can you tell us about that, and where did that all come from? And who did you collaborate on that project?
Yeah, Return of a Mad. It's the follow up to my the last album, Diaries of a Mad, which was, can't even believe it's been about 6 years since that project. But yeah, it's less introspective. The last one was very, I guess you could say, personal, introspective. This one's a little bit more lyrical, a little bit more kind of diverse in the range of just kind of experiences. Fully produced by Third Eye Bling. He's a really phenomenal up and coming producer in Northwest. So yeah, Third Eye Bling on the productions, King Khazm on the rhymes. We got some really cool features. My brother Abstract Rude, Micah Nine, Mocha Only. We got Percy P, Curtis Blow's on there.
Oh, no, not Curtis Blow. Oh, those are these are the breaks. That was one of the first hip hop songs I ever heard in the club, man, back in the day. Man, that's awesome.
Break it up.
Yeah. Everybody got on the dance floor when that came on. Right on. And was there anybody else we left out there in there? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, there's more, but yeah, that's just a little sample. Yeah, it's feeling really good about the project. We got some promotional travels coming up here pretty soon. We're doing a little Northwest tour, and a lot of appearances in the next couple months. So yeah, definitely gonna be pushing that hard, you know, on all the
You're gonna be busy, yeah. You don't have much time to rest. You're gonna be busy again. Right on. So tell our viewers then how can they get your new work that's coming out, and how can they find out more about the 206 Zulu?
Yeah, just all the regular, you know, platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all the good stuff. As far as 206 Zulu, you can check out 206zulu.org, or Instagram, Facebook. It's just at 206 Zulu, or myself at King Khazm. Yeah, it's a lot of different things. The King Khazm is more the music and more the art stuff. 206 Zulu is a lot of, you know, community events. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up. Our 18th anniversary will be happening this summer. We moved the dates a little bit because of COVID. It usually happens in President's Day weekend of February, but due to the kind of the uptick, we're moving into the summertime. But yeah, stay tuned on the Instagram. There's a lot of stuff. We got a off the wall mural competition going down this summer. We got the Beatmasters producers competition going down July. I don't recall the date, but yeah, July, every July on the Seattle waterfront. So yeah, doing some cool stuff this year.
Right on. Well, thank you for coming on the show once again, man, and keep up the good work. And I hope to talk to you again soon, brother.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Keep doing that good work.
Right on. Peace out.
Peace.
I'ma spit out just a couple of names who paved the way up in this game. Fresh track, rap attack, yes, nastiness. Sir mix a lot, MDMS. Emerald Street Boys and Kids Sensation. Seattle City Breakers all around the nation. In the graph world, you had Mr. Clean. Keep one Danny Mo with yes ski. Danny D Rock, aka Mr. Supreme. Top spin, tribal, and vitamin D. JC Cage in the fourth party. Black Anchor Movement in Jocelyn. Hey, DVS and the Old Dominion crew. Seatown hip hop, this one's for you. Two coaches.